Outside, the sun is shining hard and bright, making the slab of crinkling waves flash and sparkle like cut glass. I'm tempted to open the French windows and stand on the balcony for a few minutes to feel the fierce wind buffet my body and lash through my hair, as if to underline the fact that I am still alive. But I resist. I'm not sure I know where the key is in any case. I'm simply trying to delay the start of a task that I feel sure is going to be both complicated and time-consuming. Deciding what to do with the furniture is not straightforward. I've already resolved to keep the flat, but whether as a permanent home or as a holiday flat and source of income, I have not yet decided. Either way, it will need furniture. The kitchen table is staying. Victorian stripped pine, well used and well loved. During the last few years of my mother's life, she developed a passion for crossword puzzles, particularly those in the broadsheets. She said they kept her brain alive. She would spend several hours each morning sitting at the kitchen table with the newspapers spread in front of her, a dictionary and thesaurus close to hand. Bad form to the purists, I know, but she rarely used them. When I visited her, she would sometimes ask for my help as I sat drinking coffee and gazing out at the ever-changing sea. It was the closest we came to companionable during my adult life, a poor relation to the emotional intimacy more usually found between a mother and daughter, but the best that we could do. Her actions had placed a distance between us that remained until her death, and I long ago gave up trying, or perhaps even wanting, to build a bridge across it. We skirted around one another with the cool politeness of strangers, remote even when we were in the same room. Still, the table is staying. I am also keeping the ornate overmantel mirror, whose beauty is temporarily disguised under a generous layer of dust. I remember my mother checking her hair and patting her face with powder in the mirror before going out, taking care not to singe her tights by getting too close to the flames of the gas fire that burned beneath. Old age is not an excuse to let oneself go, she used to say. Sadly, her eyesight was not as good as it could have been if she had deigned to wear her spectacles, and her generous application of face powder often made her look a little dusty, rather like the mirror. But this was offset by the fresh-from-the-salon neatness of her hair, her smartly tailored coat, and the immaculately stylish silk scarf tied around her neck. This going-out ensemble was always completed with a brooch pinned either to the lapel of her coat or at her neck in the centre of the silk scarf. I once bought her a small silver brooch with the word Mother engraved on it. I never saw her wear it. The two wing-backed easy chairs in the sitting room are the epitome of abominable ghastliness and are going, definitely. Aside from the fact that they are of a shape and design that can only be described as old people's home chic, they are covered in an eye-popping chintz that looks as though it has been created by Kath Kidston on LSD. The green velvet-covered sofa is inoffensive to look at and reasonably comfortable to sit on, and is therefore staying for the time being. After a purposeful start, my mind is beginning to wander, and so am I. I drift from room to room, touching things, picking them up and putting them down again aimlessly. In the bathroom, my mother's toothbrush is still in a glass on the sink, alongside her neatly folded face flannel and a half-used bar of soap. Here my rationale deserts me. What exactly is the protocol for dealing with dead people's toiletries? These things are of no use to anyone and should surely go in the bin. But these are the last remaining relics of the flesh and blood that was my mother. They still have her on them. These humble objects retain a physical intimacy with her that would have discomforted me while she was alive, but which I am not yet ready to relinquish now she is dead. I put them into the toiletry bag covered in sprigs of tiny pink flowers, which she